Let's learn why log A plus log B equals log AB. When we write this formula here, which is a rule, it's called the Logarithm Product Rule. It means if we write something such as log base 2 and I type 8, for example, in between parentheses. So here I don't have parentheses, but I'm writing them in the actual calculation below here. And I say plus log again base 2, and let's type something like I'm giving it 16. It's the same thing as log of 16 times 8 is 128, I think. So let's do this, 128. This is the same thing. So let's look at the logic or the rationale behind this formula. In the last tutorial, I explained why typing something like, let's say 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of 3 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 5, like this here. This was the exponents multiplication rule. Now this is where it comes in handy, because when we type 2 to the power of 2, it is in fact 2 times 2, and this one here we have 2 times 2 times 2. But remember, when you work with logarithms and you have something like this here, so log 8, the answer is 3, because we are asking to what power, which is 3 here, should I raise my base here to get 8 here? When we ask the question, to what power should we raise something? It's as if you have a multiplication laid out like this, and you're just canceling out anytime you raise to a power. So this would be 2 to the power of 2, which is this in here. And then I cancel out again, 1, 2, 3 more, and now I account for this here. The multiplication sign is already accounted for here. So when we ask the question, to what power should I raise the base? You can think of it as how many times should I cancel out my base in a fully laid out multiplication that will give me this result here. So again, in here, what you see would be 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. When we say we need to raise it to the power of 3, think of it like this, power of 1, power of 2, power of 3. And this is the answer right here. So when we look at the logarithm product rule that I talked about previously, when we see here, log of A plus log of B equals log of A times B, you need to think of the exponent multiplication rule for this to make sense, because remember that logarithms are the inverse of exponents. So let's look at the log base 2 of 8 plus the log base 2 of 4. And we say here is the same thing as log of 8 times 4, which this essentially is log 32, right? So let's look at this in here. How many times should we cancel out the base 2 to get 8? If we multiply 2 by itself, how many times should we cancel out 2 to get 8? So let's do the calculation below here. I'm going to use red. We're going to have 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8. Cancel this out 3 times because we have 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. It means that this right here gives us 3. Now we're going to do plus here. To get 4, we need to multiply 2 by 2. We have twice the number 2 here. So let's cancel out both of them. We have 1, we have 2. We've canceled it out twice because 2 times 2 is 4. Now add these together and you get 5. So let's look at log 32 at the top here. If I had here log base 2 and I pass 32 here, because I'm trying to calculate this thing right here, we're supposed to get 5. Here, we will get 2 times 2, that is 4, times 2, this is 8, times 2 here, which is 16, times 2, which is 32. So how many times do we have 2 right here? We have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So essentially, when we ask the question here, to what power should we raise the base 2 to get 32? The answer here would be 5, which is the same thing as what we had right here. Because you need to think of how many times do you cancel out the base when you multiply the base by itself to get the parameter or the value that you pass here. So this is why log A plus log B equals log AB.